Right. Okay, let's go ahead and do a sound check really quickly to make sure Leroy can hear, right? So let me know if the sound is good before we go ahead and do a quick live stream regarding the BTC weekly 21ema retest and all that good stuff. All right, we'll talk about Ether. The Ether dominance is showing some sign of weakness and all that good stuff. So we'll see if we're going to get some sort of a pump or some sort of a sell-off after the 15th, right, of September. 589, the sound is good, guys. So thanks a lot for tuning in. So guys, it is September 12, 2022, 2:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll talk about BTC on a weekly basis. We'll talk about BTC on a 3D basis, right, and all that good stuff. We'll talk about the possible wedge pattern regarding the RSI and all that good stuff. All right, so now let's go ahead and start off with the weekly time frame. All right, so when we take a look at BTC on a weekly basis, what we've been looking for over the last few days was like when BTC was at 24k, right? We said 24k going to be our main resistance for Q3. So we were very specific regarding our resistance for Q3, right? So we hit our 24k resistance and dump all the way down to 18k 19k area. We said do not short BTC below 19k. So BTC got a nice support around 18.5, and right now it is pushing back up. Most people are looking for some shorts and all that good stuff, saying, oh, it is just a fake out. Yes, you could call it a fake out, right, if you did not buy the dips right here, or basically close some of your profits from your short position, right, from 24k area. You could be saying it is a fake out, right, and looking for a a nice dip back down to the 19 and all that good stuff. However, as we said back in August, we said if we dip down to the 18k 19k support, which is 50, I mean not 50%, but 0.786, right, down to 0.888, right, we could be looking for a possible flat correction, something like that. Okay, remember, we weren't looking for like a 17.5. We were just looking for 80% to a 90% retracement, and we could be looking for another push to the upside. However, if we get this push, okay, it doesn't mean BTC is in a macro bull run. Okay, something to basically keep in mind. In the short to medium term, the trend looks pretty strong, right? We got a good volume on Binance, right? Nearly 2 million trading volume, BTC, not USD, but 2 million trading volume, in terms of BTC, right, on Binance, right? So if we push to the upside, we could be looking for our weekly 21ema, right? That's going to be our resistance, weekly 21ema. As of now, it is at 25.7 going to be the main resistance to keep an eye on. Once again, it is a moving average, so you don't expect it to be at 25.7 for the next like a few days or even like a few weeks. So depending on when we're going to get there, if we get some sort of bull flag, right, if we get a bull flag, right, we could be moving sideways, right, in this range before hitting our weekly 21 EMA. It could be it could be lower by then. Okay, but the main thing, once again, to keep an eye on over the next like a few days and a few weeks, it is going to be the weekly 21. If we take a look at it on a 3D basis, I said it back then, back in August, okay, I said once we get our rejection right here, that is it. Okay, we won't care about the 3D 21. The 3D 21 could give us a temporary resistance, but it is not going to be something like you want to be wasting your time on. Okay, wasting your time watching the 3D 21, because we already used it. Okay, it gave us a strong resistance, like started like since July 18th. That's the first time we nearly retested it until basically August 15th. So nearly 1 month of a strong resistance, right, temporarily, and a dump back down to retest the June lows right there, right. If we retest it again, it could just be a temporary resistance for like a couple of days before going up to the weekly 21, or even up to the 3D50. The 3D50 EMA, right, it is at 26,188 as of now. Okay, but just like the weekly 21, it is going to be moving down probably, right, something like that. So you just don't know exactly when we're going to retest it and all that good stuff, right. So two things to keep an eye on, okay, weekly 21, right, and 3D50. 3D50. Okay, for Leroy it is EMA. Okay, 3D50 EMA. Okay, it is at 26K, give or take. Okay, the weekly 21, once again, it is at 25.7. Okay, 25.7. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on the 3D. But before we talk about BTC on the 3D, let's take a look at the weekly RSI. Okay, the weekly RSI doesn't look great in terms of supports and resistances, right, and all that good stuff. But we could say, hey, if we dip back down to our support trend line right there at some point down the road, right, remember we're looking for a rejection right here. Okay, so if we get rejected from the weekly 21 EMA, from the weekly 21 EMA, we could dump later on, okay, to retest the trend line support. The same trend line support started back in May 2021. Okay, we did not retest it in back in January, right, even though we dipped all the way down to 35K and all that good stuff. On a weekly basis, we did not dump all the way down to 33. However, in June 2022, we dipped all the way down to 26, 27 on the RSI. Okay, so if we get some sort of rejection on our weekly time frame, we could later on focus on our weekly RSI, possibly to retest like 18, 20, depending on the volatility. It is not guaranteed, but it is something that I just want to keep an eye on for Q4. Okay, because Q3 we only got like 3 weeks to go to close the Q3, so not enough time to get a high volatility all the way down to 23. All right, RSI. So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a 3D basis. So we got Tails in the house. We got J Mart. Thanks a lot for tuning in, J Mart. 46 Zebra. Thanks a lot for tuning in. 589. We got Nate Dog in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Abdullah Al Shamali in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. T Dog, aka Leroy, in the house. XRP price prediction. Let's go ahead and talk about BTC and Ethereum first, okay, and we will take a look at XRP. XRP is not looking great at all versus BTC and versus USD. That's why I'm not basically wasting any time analyzing XRP. So, but we will take a look at it. All right. Excuse me, guys. All right, so on the 3D basis, guys, we talk about all all of these moves, right, back in August. So if you've been watching me long enough, most of you guys been looking for long in BTC, like Leroy buying BTC at 25K, looking for like 30K and all that good stuff. I said don't buy BTC right here. Okay, we told you to buy BTC, buy back right here, 18,000, 19,000. Okay, sell at 24K area, 25K area, right? If it goes up to 26, you can still sell some and be looking forward to re-enter at 19,000 down to 18,000 range and look for another sell area, right? 24 to 26k area. So, you know, in terms of parallel channels, right, you can see we could get two type of channels. Okay, we don't know which one we will get, right? But as of now, we could just pay attention to the upward sloping channel right there, right? So we could be oscillating something like that, okay, on a macro level. We don't know if we will get a pattern like that or not, but something to keep an eye on. You don't want to be too bullish right here. What to look for if we retest the 24-26? Don't look for the 3D, don't look for the weekly, because we already got the direction up to that level, so it's done. Kind of like what happened right here, okay? After we retested our 3D 21, what were we looking for? We weren't looking for the 3D anymore. We were looking for the daily time frame, okay? To use the daily time frame as a leading indicator for the 3D rejection. So if we go back up to the 24-26, we want to use our daily time frame for a leading indicator. But we will talk about it in the next like a few days if we get there, or all right, or when we get there. Okay, it's not guaranteed we will, but we've been pretty much spot on over the last few months regarding BTC. You know, we nailed the tops, okay, all the tops, okay. Since basically December, we haven't missed any tops on BTC. All the moves, guys, from you know, 55k, okay, 52.7, 40k, you know, 40k dump, okay, 32 dump, okay, 24k dump. So we could be getting another, you know, another top formation right here, but we will see. Okay, so keep that in mind. Regarding our indicators, our most important indicator on a 3D basis, right, it is our MACD. You know, the MACD been basically it's been pretty helpful for us, right? So because you know, these bullish crossovers, you got to know exactly what to look for, right? In order to trade them. Just because we cross bullish doesn't mean like, you know, we're going to the moon, right? Remember right here, after the MACD crossed bullish, right, what we said, okay, now it's time for what? A sideways correction. So we don't want to be bullish too soon. Okay, we're just going to watch our 21ema as the resistance. MACD is bullish. We know we can get above it, we can close a candle above it, but we're not going to go far. Okay, that's why I was saying 25k, 24k area going to be a resistance. And I said it long time ago, guys, back in like July in my premium group. I said sell the rally, right, if we pump to 24 up to 25k, okay, in Q3. All right, so that's why we were bearish right here and we were bullish right here. So now the MACD, it is giving us a strong push to the upside. It is a very, very powerful trend. Okay, we had the same move right there and we traded beautifully, okay, back in March, April, and all that good stuff. Did we short BTC, you know, while we were pushing to the upside? No. Okay, the only time we shorted was the first retest and second retest right there, just about like a 44k. But we were looking for a dump below 33. We knew 0.786 going to give us a support, so we used the same strategy right there. We dumped back down to a 0.786. What we said, you know, it's going to be going back up, just like what happened right here back in late February, okay, during the Ukraine invasion and all that good stuff. Okay, take a look at it in terms of Fibonacci, swing low to swing high. What happened right here, guys? Bang, 0.786, right, down to 0.888, right? What happened right here, right? Swing low, right, to swing high. What happened right here? Bang, 0.786 to 0.888. So don't tell me we did not tell you. Okay, I told you long time ago, guys, back in late July, early August, we're going to dump back down to that level 19,000 to 18.3. all right, so the MACD is positive, so I would just stay with the trend as a bull, and if you're a bear, you know, you just got to suck it up and be patient. Okay, suck it up and be patient until we basically retest the weekly 21 EMA. All right. So now let's take a look at BTC on a monthly basis, right? So we talked about BTC regarding the weekly 21. We talked about BTC regarding the 3D MACD. Now we will take a look at BTC on a monthly basis. The monthly pivot, okay, to the upside going to be the monthly 21 EMA. Right, that's the only upside pivot we got to be paying attention to in Q4. I'm not sure if it will retest it, right? BTC will pump up to the monthly 21 EMA in Q4, but we will pay attention to it, okay? Yeah, as of now, it is at 32K. So we don't want to spend too much time, right, analyzing it, because we got a very low probability of pushing up to what? To 32K. And why is that? Okay, if we take a look at it on a quarterly basis, right, you can see I'm not expecting, okay, a quarterly pump like up to that level, okay, like 32K, okay? So something to keep in mind. And at the same time, we're still below our quarterly 21 EMA. Let's see if we can close above our quarterly 21 EMA first, okay, before we talk about the monthly 21 EMA. So, and the downside support, the downside pivots going to be, you know, monthly 100 EMA. Let me make it bigger. Okay, monthly 100 EMA. Okay, it is at 16K right here, and 16K at the same time, right, it is at point, you know, it is at 50% pullback. Okay, you got 16K, right? It is at 0.5 fib, okay, right? Leroy, that's a 0, okay, 0.5 fib, okay, and that's a B too, okay, not an L. All right, let me just put the K, otherwise he's gonna say 16 cents. Okay, so that's going to be the first level to keep an eye on after, you know, or if we retest our weekly 21. Okay, and the secondary support after that going to be what? Going to be our monthly 100 SMA, which is at 12K. But as I said in early Q3, I don't expect BTC to dump below 14K. Okay, the lowest I would be expecting in Q3 going to be 16K to 14.5. So the monthly 100 SMA at 12K, we could be looking for a possible retest. Not sure if we will retest it, but we will see. Okay, once we get more data in you know, after the Q3 after the Q3 candle closes, right, we will take a look at it and all that good stuff, and what type of rejection we could possibly get around the weekly 21. So we cannot basically just go ahead and jump and call for like a 10K, 5K, 3K and all that good stuff. I'm seeing like a lot of people calling for like 3K, 5K. For me, it is too soon. If I'm trading the swings, right, like these 20%, 30% swings, I just don't want to be calling for like a 90% dump, because I know it takes like, you know, it could take like 6 to 9 months to get a 90% dump on BTC, and I don't want to be in a I don't want to be waiting that long, right, for a for a 90% dump, okay, when I can basically trade the 20 to 30% swings and all that good stuff, right? However, if you're a macro trader, yes, you could be waiting for 9 months. It's not a long time, right, to get your 10 to 20x pump in the next bull run, right? So that is it for the monthly. We know our monthly pivot to the upside, right? That's going to be the monthly 21 EMA, right, at 32. Okay, but we got a very low probability to retest it, so I don't want to basically spend time, you know, analyzing the monthly 21 EMA. Okay, so let me take a look at the chat room to see if we get any if we have any request from the Moon Boys. So we got T-Dog. Thanks a lot for tuning in, T-Dog. All right. So before we take a look at Ethereum, right, let's go ahead and take a look at the BTC dominance, right? Because we got 10 more minutes to go, something like that, right? So if we take a look at the BTC dominance, guys, I've been telling you for the longest, and one of the reasons I wanted to wait till BTC, you know, till we basically close the August candle, right, was like, we know September is a turning point. If you've been following me long enough, you know we've been saying it over the last few years. Okay, September is a turning point. Okay, last September we caught the dip right here. Okay, right here, right, September 2021. What I said, you know, the BTC dominance will be pushing back up to 47, 48. Right here, we talk about, like, you know, early, you know, January, we were very bearish on BTC. Okay. And Ethereum, and we said the BTC dominance will be pushing back up to 47, 48. Okay, and it dumped back down right here. I was just waiting for September, you know, for the monthly candle for August to close, right, and we will talk about the BTC dominance. And as you can see, excuse me guys, Satoshi is calling. That was Satoshi. She said 26, guys. Let's just check it out. All right, so going back to the BTC dominance, right, you can see right here, all right, back in January, right, we bottomed. September we bottomed. May we bottomed at the same level. Okay, now we just bottomed again. And I said it, guys, Pablo Moonboy was looking for the BTC dominance to dump, but it just didn't make any sense for me for the BTC dominance to dump. The reason for that, you have to follow Ethereum. The only reason, okay, the BTC dominance dumped from you know, 48 down to 39% was because the Ethereum dominance was going higher. You see what I'm saying? Because most of these alt, they still 90% down from all-time high. Okay, so if you take a look at the Ether dominance, right here, the Ether dominance, I made a video in my premium group and I said the Ether dominance is topping out. It could possibly, okay, create some you know, ending diagonal right here, but I don't see the Ether dominance going to 30%. Do you believe, like, you just have to ask yourself, okay, do you believe like Ether will flip BTC in 2022? The only reason we could see the BTC dominance dumping down to like 15% and all that good stuff is like if the Ether dominance pumped to 30%. And what does it mean? Ether will be number one. You see what I'm saying? So I was bearish on the Ether right here back in December 6th. Exactly, guys, at the top. Right here, not February, but April, okay? We talked about the Ether dominance dumping down to 14%, and we did that exactly. Right now, we're expecting the Ether dominance to dump, okay, back down to the, you know, 14%, 15%, and later on possibly retest like, you know, 12%, but it could take time. Okay, in terms of resistance, you can see right here we are respecting the trend line resistance on our weekly basis. So it is not a good time to be extremely bullish on Ether in the short to medium term. It is time to basically be bullish on BTC, okay, and increase your BTC holding, because most of these alt could retrace over the next like a few weeks or even month going into Q1 2021, possibly late January, early February. We know most of the time alt tend to pump. We know that over the last few months, over the last few years, if you've been following me, okay, January, February, right, most of the time I'm bullish on alt, okay, and we've been nailing most of our macro setups regarding those alt pump. Okay, but it is not alt season yet. It is not alt season yet. If we go back to the BTC dominance, right, we could be expecting, right, a push back up to 48. Once we break above our monthly, not monthly, but once we break above our weekly 21 EMA, regardless of what BTC going to be doing, guys, BTC can pump to the upside, and the BTC dominance could be pumping at the same time, right? BTC could dump, right, and the BTC dominance could be pumping to the upside. So they might not be moving, you know, together. So you just have to be very, very cautious, okay? Because I can see like most people right now, they having trouble trading BTC because they can see like BTC is pumping, right, and alt are dumping, so they kind of get confused. But I've seen it so many times where BTC pumps to the upside, right, and altcoin dump, okay, or altcoin dump hard and BTC doesn't do anything. We've seen it like in I think in late 2020. We've seen it in late 2020, right, when you know, the BTC dominance basically was pumping right here actually, okay, after, you know, right here after BTC broke above all-time high, right, the first week of December 2020. You can see like the BTC dominance was pumping, and if you go back and check the most of these alts, right, first week of December 2020, right, until basically late 2020, right, they were dumping hard. So if you don't know what's going on, you might be bearish on alt, right, or be bearish on BTC, and those suckers could be reversing, okay? But as of now, I don't see alt reversing, right, as of now, right? We will take a look at it. Even though everything was calling for a dump, right, breaking below the support and all that good stuff, but on a monthly basis, we never got a negative crossover, right, on our MACD. And I said it last week, the monthly MACD, it is still positive, right? Even though we're getting a triple bottom, you don't want to trust it. Kind of like what BTC just did on a weekly basis. If you go back to the BTC chart on a weekly basis, right? Remember when Leroy was actually very bullish after we crossed up right here, right? The first week of August, you know, most bulls were calling for a move to like 28-30K because the weekly time frame crossed bullish. What we were doing, we were basically shorting at 24K because we didn't care about the weekly. It wasn't the right time to trade the weekly. Okay, so you can see the weekly dump right back down to retest the support. MACD never crossed negative. We knew it wasn't going to cross negative with a high probability, 80% chance it wasn't going to cross negative. The only way we could have been crossing negative is like if BTC closed below like 17K or like a 16K. So if we go back to the BTC dominance, you can see like on a monthly basis, it did not cross negative. Okay, and the reason why we needed to basically pay attention to the monthly time frame is like we stayed in this range for nearly, you know, 18 months, okay, give or take, okay, 18 months. So after 18 months of sideways correction, it is hard to basically trade the daily time frame because, you know, the volatility going to be very low. So you have to pay attention to your higher time frame to give you you know, to give you a better probability, okay, trade setup, right? Hopefully it makes sense, okay? Hopefully it makes sense. All right. And if we take a look at it on a 3 weeks basis, MACD, you know, was still positive right here. Okay, kind of like how we traded the 3D time frame, right? After we crossed positive on our 3D time frame, right? Regarding BTC, we shorted at the 3D 21, right? So you take a look at the BTC dominance. After we crossed positive on the 3 weeks time frame, we hit our 3 weeks 21 EMA and dumped back down to retest the support. So basically, that's what BTC just did, okay? 18K, 19K range, pump back up to 24, 25, and dump back down to 18K, 19K, and now it is looking to push up, okay? So, you know, pay attention to your BTC dominance, right? Because alt could temporarily be suffering, but, you know, they will recover, okay? We just have to give them time until BTC at least retest like a 47 range, right? And we will take a look at it. Could we push up to like a 53, 58? That's possible, but we will take a step by step and you know, trade it, try to trade it profitably, okay? All right. All right. All right. Okay, Leroy is asking if BTC hits 16 or 14.5k, what kind of bounce could we expect? We will see. We will see. I mean, we could bounce back up to the 20ks, right? 21k's resistance, right? Remember 21k plus minus 10%, right? That's our pivot, sideways correction. We talked about it since when? Since June, right? So if we hit those levels, right? 16, 14, I don't know when we're gonna hit it, right? We could be looking for a pushback up, right? To retest the weekly 21 or even like the monthly 21. Okay, so we just have to be very cautious because the next dump could possibly be the bottom. Okay, could possibly be the bottom, and we could be pushing up to the monthly 21. So if I'm buying like around, like, let's go back to the BTC chart, right? If I'm buying like, at the monthly 100 SMA, right? Let's say 100 EMA, right? 16k down to 14k, right? The next sell range going to be the weekly, not the weekly, but the monthly 21 EMA. You see what I'm saying? Because we already hit our daily 21, we already hit our 3D 21, and we're looking to hit our basically weekly 21, right? The next one going to be what? The monthly 21. Okay, but let's take care of the weekly 21 EMA first before we talk about the monthly 21. All right. Daily 21, 3D 21, right? And then monthly 21, weekly 21. Okay, for Leroy, that's what we're going to be looking for, right? So we talked about the daily 21 back in June, right? We talked about the 3D 21, right, back in July, August. Now we're talking about the weekly 21, right, in September. Okay, so we will talk about the monthly 21 EMA later on, after our next dump, but we don't know where, okay, or when we're going to get that dump, or if we're even going to get it. So we're not sure. 17.5 could be the bottom, so we can basically just say, we're going to dump down to 16k, because we don't know where the monthly 100 EMA going to be at in the next like a few months. It could pump higher, okay, and be somewhere around like 20k. We don't know, because we can hit the monthly we can hit the weekly 21 EMA and move sideways for like a few weeks and not break down. Okay, but just to answer your question, right, I would be paying attention to the monthly 21 EMA next, right? If we hit like 16k, 14k range. Okay, if we dump lower, we will talk about it. We'll just accumulate, right? Because we know we will go back up to the monthly 21. Just like I said with the weekly 21, I was saying we will retest our weekly 21. I just don't know when. It could be late Q3 or early Q4. Okay, with the monthly 21, I don't know neither. It could be early Q4, right, 2022, or late Q4 2022, or even like in Q1 2023. I don't know. Okay, hopefully it makes sense, right? All right, so we got 35 minutes, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Ether dominance really quickly. We already talked about the Ether dominance, but let's go ahead and move on to the Ether BTC chart. So Ether BTC chart is not looking great, right? So okay, let's take a look at it on the 3D. So on the 3D basis, we're hitting like the resistance area right here. I know most bulls gonna go ahead and say, hey, we're gonna get a nice inverse head and shoulders, something like that, and we're going to be pushing to the upside, one-to-one extension and all that good stuff, and push all the way up to like a 0.13 BTC. Okay, yes, the pattern is a valid pattern, but it has to make sense in our current market conditions, right? Going up to like a 0.13 BTC, 13% of the BTC price, could possibly put Ethereum as number one, and I don't see Ethereum basically flipping BTC in 2022. Okay, so that pattern, I'm not gonna follow it. Okay, so what I'm gonna follow is like just the BTC dominance, right? The BTC dominance is saying like we already hit resistance and we could be pushing lower, so it means Ether BTC most likely going to lose some value. Okay, so the 2D time frame already crossed negative right here, right? Cross negative, cross back positive, and now it is crossing negative again. Okay, and we got a temporary bearish divergence right here, top formation. Okay, on the 3D, it is not negative yet, right? We just have to be patient with the 3D time frame. Okay, but if the 3D crosses negative, right, it will give bears a bigger advantage, right, to control the trend, okay, over the next like a few weeks after that. All right, so be cautious with Ether, right? In terms of USD, you know, Ether could take a cheap shot back up to the low 20s right here. Okay, 1950 all the way up to 20, you know, 2150, but I would just say 2111 just to be constant. Okay, the temporary first resistance was the 1710, right? So it looks like it wants to take out the 1710, but the entire range right here, it is, you know, it is definitely a bear territory, even though the 3D time frame is looking pretty aggressive, but I think it is just following BTC. Okay, it is just following BTC. So yes, we don't have a reversal pattern as of now, but it is at resistance, just like what I said right here when Ether was around like 1950 2000 area. I said we don't have a reversal pattern, but we're at a very strong resistance. So if we go back up to a low 2000s, right, you know, I know most bulls gonna be coming out and saying like, oh, we're going to 20k, 30k, 50k, 80k Ether and all that good stuff, but Leroy, you just got to be cautious if we get there. Okay, even as of now, it is at resistance. Okay, even though it is slightly above 1710, right, it can still create the flat correction. I mean, not flat, but zigzag correction like that. Okay, or it could just do something like that. Okay, so be cautious, kind of like what we did right here on the low degree. Okay, but since the Ether BTC is topping out, the Ether dominance is topping out, I just don't want to be confident, right? We're going to be breaking out and going back up to our next pivot resistance at 2850. Okay, because if we break out above the low 2000, right, as I said it multiple times, the only areas, okay, I'm going to be paying attention to for Ether, it is going to be, you know, the 1710 up to you know, 2100 range, right? And after that, going to be the 2850, but I'm not sure, once again, if we're going to get there. I don't want to be trading Ether, you know, between like 2200, you know, 2400 range. Okay, so and all that good stuff. Okay, we'll see if we're going to get the rejection right above the 1710 up to, you know, the 2111 range. So let's go ahead and take a look at the chat room for some chat requests. Good stuff. Thanks a lot, Tels. All right, so Matic. Okay. XRP price prediction. Let's take a look at XRP BTC. So if you're bearish on Ether, on BTC, just be cautious, guys. I know it is easy to be bearish when market is green, but that's not how you're supposed to be trading it, okay? So so XRP doesn't look good against BTC. So we're still getting rejections right from the monthly 21ema. Support going to be all the way down to like 600 sats, all 600 sats to 400 sats. Okay, so that's going to be the support to look for, and we'll see if the XRP bulls going to be showing up. Okay, the monthly 21ema going to be a strong resistance, right, until we get a clean breakout above. But as of now, it is just under accumulation. I would just accumulate BTC, right? And if we get a proper setup, right, at least on the weekly or at least on the 3D basis, we could pay attention to it. But XRP, if you've been trading it like over the last, since like May 2021 against BTC, you're going to get in trouble because it's not doing anything. Okay, it's just been making like lower highs against BTC, so not volatile at all. Okay, so you would rather trade BTC, right, instead of trading XRP until we get a valid pattern. Okay, but resistance all the way up to 10,000. We'll see if we can basically push to 10,000 to 14,000 or retest the 600 sats and push all the way up to 10,000, or even possibly retest like the all-time low at 150 sats. Do not basically disregard the retest of even like a 150. But as of now, the only thing I can say regarding the XRP chart is like it is not exciting to be trading XRP because the XRP BTC chart is not volatile enough. Okay, so I would just suck it up and hold it or wait for lower prices. Next one is Loom BTC. Let's take a look at Loom BTC. I gave Loom BTC in my premium a long time ago, guys. So if you've been watching our Loom analysis, let's see if I can find it. Okay, so Loom BTC, if you've been in my premium, we talk about Loom BTC even in our public group. Okay, accumulate right here 130 to 150. If we drop down to 100 sats, 80 sats, great to reaccumulate and basically take profit around like a 600 sats. Okay, we already hit the 600 sats, could be hitting like the 1000 sats. Okay, the main area to keep an eye on for Loom is like if we go all the way up to like the March 2019 resistance, right? You don't want to be holding any Looms, okay, because it will dump hard. It will take time, but it will dump hard. If you go there, it will dump down here. You just have to wait till BTC breaks all-time high again before you accumulate it. Okay, I'm not even sure if we will basically retest it as of now, but let's see. So Loom, I like Loom because most of you guys remember our call back in like August, August 2020. Okay, when Loom was right around like 100 sats, 180. What we said right here. Okay, accumulate Loom because we're going to pump all the way up to 400, 500 sats, and that's exactly what we did. Okay, so I knew we were going to get that move. I just didn't know when. Okay, that's why I sent it a long time ago to say accumulate Loom right here. Even if we retest the 100 sats, 80 sats, that's going to be add on, and wait for the 600 sats, and then later on 1000 sats and all the way up to 1000. Okay, so if you've been holding Looms, right, great. If not, just have to wait probably the next 18 to 24 months before we get another good setup. Let's take a look at it. because these alts, guys, if they pump 10x, but guys, you just have to get out. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Matic. So Matic, you just have to be very, very cautious with Matic, guys. And I said it a long time ago. Once again, after Matic pumped all the way up to $3, you know, I was saying, guys, Matic already pumped like over 200,000. Yes, 200,000%, something like that, right? Yeah, actually 30,000. Okay, 40,000%. Okay, after the March 2020 crash. Okay, so after nearly 400x, most of these alt, they go for a, you know, for a long bear market. It could take like 4 to 5 years for some of these alt. Okay, I know Matic got a lot of hype, but this is crypto. It doesn't matter. Matic, Solana, XRP, Leroy, you know, whatever you call them. Okay, it does not matter. The only thing that matters, okay, in a bear market is BTC. Yes, you're going to get some short-term pumps, right, for some of these alt, low cap alt, you know, between 50 million to 200 million. They can pump like 100%, 200%, and all that good stuff. But the big alt, okay, they could go for a long bear market. Some of them could dump like for 4 to 5 years. I'm not saying Matic will do that, but all I'm saying is just be cautious, right? Being extremely bullish on Matic under the monthly 21-EMA. Okay, if we break out above the monthly 21-EMA, you could start to say, hey, oh, you know, we could be going to the moon, right? So now let's take a look at Matic, right? In terms of Fibonacci, we already hit nearly our 382. We actually hit it already. Okay, if you watch my Matic macro analysis, okay, you know, 31 cents to 29 cents support, right, all the way down here, and the next support going to be like somewhere around like 18 cents, right, 50%, and 0.618 going to be at 10 cents, right, on the macro level, right, if we do not take out the monthly 21-EMA. All right, you could also, you know, draw your Fibonacci, right, from the all-time low, but you're going to get different you know, different prices, but the 50% pullback, it is still going to be around like 10 cents area. All right, 10 cents area. Okay, I'm not saying we will get there right now, but just be cautious because we're still below our monthly 21. Okay, and remember, guys, it's not like I'm bearish. You know, I just turned bearish on Matic. I was bearish on Matic at the top in our premium. I said get out of Matic at $3, get out of Phantom at $3. If you've been watching our analysis, okay, Phantom dump all the way down to like 18 cents. Okay, so let's go ahead and all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at CRV. So CRV on a weekly basis, right, we're still below our weekly 21. We're not in a bull trend, right? So even though MACD is positive, keep an eye on the retest of the 40 cents to 30 cents. Okay, got to take out the weekly 21 before any sort of you know, macro bull trend. Okay, I was bullish on CRV back in 2020. CRV, BZRX, FTM, and all of them at the bottom right here. They could be retesting it. It already retested like the 50 cents. Okay, Sushi. Okay, all of them right here back in November, December 2020. Right, but as of now, the trend, it is still temporarily down. We could get the round trip, right, all the way down here. Okay, and if we retest the lows, right, just have to accumulate. Okay, it might not be a direct shot right? It might not be direct, okay? You could still get a, you know, something like that, a flat correction right here. So and a retest of the lows, okay? But if we break out above the weekly 21, we will take a look at it, right? Because you could easily, okay, say this is your wave 1, right? Possibly creating your wave 2 and wave 3 and all that good stuff. But I just don't see it, right, playing out like that. In 2020, right, remember, that's what we were saying, okay? Remember when, you know, CRV was right around like 50 cents. We were calling for like $3, $4, okay? You go ahead and take a look at our, you know, analysis back then, okay? CRV, BZRX, you know, FTM, and many other alt, okay? But since the BTC dominance is strong, I would just accumulate BTC. Let's do this. Let's do it. CRV. Okay. CRV BTC support right here. If we break the support area, it could be coming back down to you know, 2700, okay, and all-time low all the way down to like a 2000. So you just have to be very, very patient. Otherwise, we could be retesting the you know, we could break the 2700 and dump all the way down to 2000. All right, guys, I'm just gonna call it a day. So thanks a lot for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the likes, share the content, right, if you like, right, and be good out there.